Alright, hello everyone, SoulServer17 here, Linkers like usual. And on this picture, not pay video, right? Okay, so, let's just get into this, because I technically have some stuff I want to happen in this. I tried to make this video earlier, and, well, near the end of it, something popped up, a text, and I was like, oh, come on! So, yeah. I'm not gonna get everything 100% right in my from my original video. So yeah. So anyways, last time we left off is where I and Abedo Nabo, aka Nave and Shaltir basically came back from the dungeon that Chaos made them come into with me, basically from the A to S rank dungeon. Basically, the Black Dragon has a lot of gear that is, well, not gear, but more like a lot of items. And I just didn't figure out what besides the weapons and armor and such. So, I have 4 stones that will basically give me actual skills. So, I have 4 of those. The rest of it is just dragon meat, claws, fangs, another. Well, technically I don't have a core because of the crystal, but anyways, I mean, dragon skills basically. Yeah, the whole shebang of what you would get. So yeah. So let's just get through this. Because it's almost 3 and I don't want to get tired in the middle of this and basically make this like half-assed. I'm just saying the truth. So yeah. So this is part 7, I think. Or 8. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. So, yeah, we're starting off basically just that night. Albedo, Shoutir, and Nabe is having a hard time to sleep. And we basically are in Albedo's room, because she's tossing and turning. She can't get over the fact of what happened in the dungeon. The whole entire me defending them, and then when we got to a certain level where there's like not that many monsters coming at us, I go in and I'm basically slicing through many different monsters like crazy. No care, just brutality, you could say. So yeah. So she's trying to figure out why would I basically have not cared for myself as much besides them. Because it's like, I got hit sometimes and basically I just was just defending them, basically, of using the guns. So, before she can even do anything, like get up, she hears a knock on the door. She goes over to it. There is Narbrol, aka like slash Nave, and then Shaltir. As she asks, "What are you doing?" She goes, "We need to talk." Basically, Shaltir and Narbrol nods. So, she opens it, and then she moves aside, let them come in, and then she puts a magical seal for silence. She goes, "What is it, Shoutir?" And Narble goes, "Did you notice how Zero just basically was different throughout that dungeon?" Which basically Albedo would not. He goes, he was way more, I guess you could say, brutal. At first, he was basically just defending us anyway. It didn't matter which basically Narble will nod, and she does say yes. He seemed basically to focus on us until we got to the point where there was more the fact there was less enemies, just to go basically do things on his own. We were able to kill some ourselves, but still, he's more worried about us. Which basically Sheltier nods. So like, even though I'm his familiar, I should, basically help him. It seems like he didn't even care for his own safety. To be honest, I basically have like so many souls. I mean, I'm not gonna really die that much. So, but anyways, so basically, Abba was like, "So you care for him?" She goes, "Of course, he is my master. Like Lord Ainz. Well, Lord Ainz is my lord, but he is my master. Nave here is basically part of his parage, and so are you. Don't you care for him?" Which Albedo's like, "I'm only here to watch both of you, make sure you don't get into any dangerous situations." In which basically, hold up. Okay, like I said, in which basically, Shaltir and Narvel just kind of looking at her, basically, not confusion, just with understanding, but like still, you know, she decides, you're like, what? What are you supposed to make me think? I'm supposed to like him? She goes, well, basically, Shaltir, I mean, at least be faithful. He ain't no human anymore. He's, well, whatever he is. He's still just zero. Which Nabe just nods, which I think basically Shaltir, I mean not Shaltir, but Abel actually kind of shocked that they are so okay with this. She didn't really think of them to basically to accept basically that so easily. But she goes, well, he's not really seems like a bad person, and if he is human, he's already a demigod, so it doesn't really matter. Which Nabe agrees. And besides, his brutality is, well, as basically I think Chaltier would sort of basically get some pink, well, somehow not even, well, blue or pink along with Nabe, which I really talked to a friend about it, so, which basically Abado just kind of remembers the whole time dragon just being disintegrated by the black flames, basically. She just sighs, because she also, basically think about it too. I mean, well, get some pink arches too, and she's like, even though whatever he did to the Black Dragon was brutal and different, not people can do that in Nazarick, not even a Supreme one. It would be even difficult to even do that much damage, which basically all three of them just nod. Meanwhile, while they're discussing all this, me just sitting basically in my room, just sighing, be like, alright, time to get the last two skills before I get. Oh, come on, I can become a freaking Demon Lord and a fudging. But, and a fucking basically true dragon, Grey Sage, as it says, due to the fact that you basically ate, well, the Black Dragon, which is Calamity threat here, you can become a true dragon and a Demon Lord. But the true dragon basically advantages will not be fulfilled until you basically buy all basically skills. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. But if I do get it though, she goes, it'll be basically half the price. I'm like, huh. So basically half of the price of all the skills before it, which basically goes affirmative. I'm like, sweet. But I'll become that later. Right now though, basically I just get like gluttony. I mean, I get basically starve, which then makes gluttony. Then I basically get merciless. Yeah. I think that's what only two, but there's also Megdo. But it doesn't really matter, but just probably those two. And then it's basically final skill. I mean, final thing would be Demon Lord. So I'm just like, nod to that, and then I go over to the Spider-Man. I'm like, okay, even though I just have only this many, only basically the Spider-Man that basically has organic webs, basically, I do know quite a few other powers from different Spider-Men. Like 2099, claws and fangs, Miles Morales. Man, why are they not even showing up here? And basically, I kind of just go through it, and there's like, I kind of see the symbiote, just symbiote skills, and I'm like, symbiote or Clintar. There's nothing here. It's like blank. Why is that? But then I basically go back to the Spider-Man, but anyways, should I really try to become Spider-Man? Or at least get everything? I mean, I'm kind of becoming a good guy / bad guy, anti-hero, but still. Is that even a good idea? To use Spider-Man's abilities like that? I'm kind of worried if basically that's just like saying, I'm gonna do whatever I want with your power, Spidey. And I feel like a jerk then. So, meanwhile, while I'm basically having this inner dialogue to myself, trying to decide if I want to basically get the organic webs now and, try to figure out how to get all the other Spider-Man powers I know. We basically have... Wait, hold up. Okay, we have somebody who's watching me. That's not a god. That is a being basically in their own little world. He goes, the kid seems to have a little bit of crisis here. Let's see if I can actually help him basically to understand or to decide. As then all of a sudden, he just points his finger at the TV as a portal opens underneath me, as it takes a few minutes for me to realize, as I just fall right through. I'm just like, thinking in my head, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And I'm not even screaming, I'm like, this is normal. I think, wait a minute, I'm not close to the ground. As I look, I see basically buildings. I'm like, okay, time to scream. As I'm basically just screaming, just shit. So yeah. So basically, while I'm falling, I'm looking, and then I'm like, okay, there has to be a place I can basically land or not die. Basically, I just realized I'm actually falling towards a park. So, shape-shifting into a bat. Fly down and basically try not to crash. Wait, hold up. Okay, so basically, I do crash. And by hitting a few trees, because this is my first time turning into a bat and flying. As I'm like, after a few crashes, basically I'm like, I hit a couple of branches. Okay, let's see. Wait, is anything broken? As I do see my arm broken, I'm like, oh, this is gonna hurt. As I just like grab it and put it back in place. I'm like, and it just starts healing. I'm like, much better. So, I'm getting up and, I went to a pathway where I see a couple of people. I see someone walking by. I'm like, hey, excuse me. As they look at me like, what do you want? I'm like, can you tell me where I am? He's like, you're in New York City. It's like, really? Yeah. Never heard of it? It's like, nah, just woke up here. It's like, weirdo. Walks away. I'm like, man, New York. Kind of looking around, like, I wonder, basically, which New York is this? Is it like my world or just something? As I see an A on a tower, as I'm like, I'm in the Marvel universe. Great. So, basically I'm like, okay, first off, need to get up on top of a building. Second off, try to make sure you basically can hear for crime or something. Gotta do something. Third, call Luna first. Meanwhile, with every single god that's watching me, including Luna, she's basically freaking out. She knows what's going on until she gets a call from me like, "Hey, Luna, I'm in the Marvel Universe, New York City. Can you tell me who was the one that basically put me here? Open up a portal underneath me while I was on my bed?" She's like, "Okay, here's the thing. I don't know who did it, but we're gonna try to figure out how to get you back. But it seems like basically I can't really teleport you back there yet. Like something's keeping you there." I'm like, okay, understandable, understandable. Hold up. All right, so basically after I said, okay, understandable, but just hurry it up. I don't want to be here just in case of some main villains of heroes I know start, I don't know, trying to attack me because they think I'm them. She's like, "That's not gonna happen." I'm like, "Thanks, you just jinxed me." She's, "Huh?" As basically all of a sudden an explosion happens. I'm like, "Gotta go." She was like, "What?" "Oh, wait, no, you're not gonna play hero." I'm like, "I'm in New York City, I'm in the Marvel Universe. Why not?" "You just said you didn't want to." Like, yeah, it doesn't mean I'm gonna be them. As I literally stopped talking to her, as Karama just says, "This is dangerous, Kit." I'm like, I know, but come on, this is gonna be funny." She goes, "Fun for you. Well, funny for you, not for them, is it?" I'd be like, "Yep." So basically, I'm just running, basically, hopping over, well, basically just running through the basically park. Just a couple like other explosions are happening along with some gunshots. As well, I do go see the nearest basically alleyway. But as I'm basically about to run across the road, I hear a car come as I jump ahead of time over the cars, basically, and well, over the car and the next car that was coming on the other side into the alleyway. Some people are just looking at me like, "Did he just do that? What the heck?" And it's normal here in New York City. So yeah, but they just go back to running. So me, put on the basically the Black Dragon's armor, have the mask on, and basically have my hair turn black, and my eyes turn green, shapeshifting, and then boom, have the little basically hood, cape, cloth. I forgot what it's called. Cloak. Have the cloak on, and yeah, run up the wall. Basically, while I'm running, I basically realized I need to basically probably limit myself, put some limiters on me. So the Alucard thing limiters is good, but the thing is, I think there's like level 3s, so I would basically have the Asura like each power. I can only go use the 6 arms. If I want to go anything other, I have to release level 3 to use the stronger version. Then basically for level 2, that, and then level 1, that, and then level 0 is just full on power. So yeah, I kind of realized and looked into it while I'm running up, and I'm like, huh, so a couple of things is already limited. Automatic? I guess Luna basically does for good reasons. Okay, and I really like this goddess. So yeah. So basically, run up the side of the building. I'm getting near the edge, volley myself over the edge, run onto the roof, just basically do a little roll, then get onto my feet, run, jump off, and dive. So some things are happening. The guys are basically just putting some money into the vehicle, and basically one of them goes like, "Hurry up, the boss! Your boss needs us back." As one of them is like, "Yeah, let's hope that both of those spiders don't come here." Like, which one? The one with the blue, red, and black suit, or the different version suit he has, basically the white and red and blue, or basically the one that has the black and red. He's like, either. As basically, some gunshots going off as me just land on basically the truck. They were basically putting the money in. I'm like, "Hi there, boys. Lovely day we're having, huh?" Basically, just wearing it like, Who are you supposed to be? I don't know. I'm just new in town. You know, just wanted my civil duty to basically help out the police. It's like, oh great, another hero. Basically, me just disappeared, be right next to a guy, you know, leaning against him. Like, yeah, not really a hero, more like testing out some stuff. Hope you guys don't mind. Like, I was basically them kind of like just like weirded out, sort of. It's like, so I mean, just kind of stopped leaning against one of them. Like, so let's do this. He's like, huh? Fight. As the one basically pulls up the gun, like, or you die. Basically, he tries to shoot me, but he basically notices the gun's gone, and it's in my hand. I'm like, yeah, no. I just crush it. I'm like, so, fight it is. And basically, the fight's going pretty well. A couple of punches and kicks, you know what's happening. Dodging, basically, bullets, throwing stuff at them. And basically, two of them basically trying to run at me, and they try to punch me, but I just jump, you know, upwards, doing a backflip, land onto a car. I'm like, oh, come on, I know I just came in here in town, but I know you, but why are you guys falling for me already? As one that goes like, oh, great, we don't need another one. As I'm just like, and I just look at him like, what? He's like, we don't need you like Spider-Man. I'm like, oh. I'm worse. He goes like, huh? As if I just disappear, he gets knocked out because my fist was in his stomach. Couple of things. Basically, the driver's like, come on, come on, come on. Start already, you fucking truck. As I'm basically just walking to him very very slowly. And basically, I get to the door. All of a sudden, he just hears me literally, like, it just looks like a creaking of the door, and then also I just rip it open and just throw it to the side. I'm like, you can get out of the seat, or I can visually throw you out of it very violently. And you may have a couple of broken bones. Your choice. He just gets out and basically puts his hands, he basically goes on the ground, put his hands behind his back, and like, good choice. Like, just look at the cops like, see you later, officers, and just run off. Which one of them's like, we have another hero, or is he just some guy basically trying to play Spider-Man? Which the other cop's like, I don't know. So the thing is, someone was watching. I basically do get, but I mean, they do start swinging away. So I do basically get to another way. I'm like, okay, man, and that was, I mean, okay, that wasn't really that bad. I was basically, switch out, basically clothes into regular clothing. I'm like, man, did I just do a quip? Or was that just me doing a joke? But they seem not to like it. And I was just like, well, doesn't really matter. Like, true. So, let's just say this. Before I even take a step, I already get attacked. As I dodge it. And it's just like, wait, webbing? Oh, great, don't tell me. Spider-Man. Or, basically, the other Spider-Man. Which, I just hear, no. You wish we were. I'm like, we? Venom and Eddie. You can come out now. I already know who you guys are. Basically, let's just say, whole entire monologue saying he's gonna kill me and such and blah 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 blah. Me. Alright, you done? Wait, she's like, huh? Yeah, you're gonna kill me because you think I'm Spider-Man. Look, I'm not Spider-Man, I'm just some guy who has powers similar to him. I don't have no basically web shooters, or organic webs. Basically, it's just Eddie, he basically is a villain at the moment. But, not very for long. He's the one thing that basically one person has that can basically is the most powerful weapon. Sort of. It's only powerful in Naruto. He goes like, we're going to rip you apart and make sure we basically can show Spider-Man that he basically failed. And I'm like, oh, great. Come on, let's just get this thing started with. I got places to be, and I don't need to be here. I'm tired. Very tired and cranky. Which, yeah, the fight, basically Venom tries to throw tendrils at me. I dodge it. Basically, I kind of realize, wait, I only know basically the comics, a little bit of the comics, mostly from the animated TV series, when he's in there, and the video games. So, does that mean, and they say all of a sudden, like, he just shoots out webs, and basically, I never get hit, but I dodged it in time, and then landed on the wall. I'm like, yep, maybe a mixture, or just everything. As I said, jump off the wall, basically try to hit him. He dodged with it, I hit the ground, which makes a little cracks in it. Which, yeah, Venom basically starts throwing something at me. I basically just catch it and throw it right back to him. He basically hits it away. Me jump towards him. A little bit of a fight, hand-to-hand combat, and then, punch him in the face. He punched me, send me back a little bit. Then use a tendril to basically grab me and throw me into a wall and such. So this goes on for a couple minutes until I get angry enough to legit grab the tendril, pull him to me, basically activate Oscar's Wrath mode, basically grab his face and then slam him to the ground, and start punching him basically repeatedly. Well, actually only 3 times, saying, "I am not Spider-Man." As he says, "We do not care." Basically, and I just sigh, you know what? How about I give you a little, lesson on what you can really become, because I'm annoyed with this already. He's like, huh? As I literally put my hand on the suit, and I'm ripping it off, as it just goes onto me, and, basically part of it gets onto me, as it just literally goes through my memories, and they have, like, a literally viewing session of it. So, yeah. And since afterwards I let go of the symbiote, or stop trying to rip it off, as it goes back on Eddie, as Eddie just, basically mask comes off, normal outfit. He's like, what was that? He goes, that's what you and Venom can become. A hero. By some. Anti-hero to most. You see, you're not that bad, Eddie. Maybe anger issues are misguided, but you're not a bad person. Basically, I just go to him, basically put my hand out, like, look, I know you may not like me because I have Spider-Man's powers, but I'm not him. I'm not really him at all. That's for sure. So when I say that, he knows that I'm meaning it, and a little bit upset by it. So basically, he grabbed my hand, I basically help him up. So he goes, what do you mean you're not Spider-Man? And how come I saw you? It's like, yeah, you probably saw me with, gaining the powers and stuff. He goes, yeah. Well, guess I should at least explain some stuff. So I basically tell him, about the world I was in, and then what happened to me, and anything I know I can get. So I tell him about the Spider-Man powers. And then I basically just go from there, and then I just tell him that I just got here. It's like, so you're from a different world, and you just was teleported here, huh? It's like, yep. Basically, for me, I wouldn't believe it. I didn't see your memories. Well, I mean, that's one crazy story, though. Yeah, but no, seriously, I'm not lying. You and Venom can become great people. Well, great, heroes. It may be a struggle, but hey, you basically are, good at basically pushing forward and not letting anything hold you back, Eddie. Don't, let your anger control you on this. Alright? Hold up. Okay. Which basically, Eddie just kind of just chuckles. He was like, well, thanks, kid, for believing in me. I'm over 20. He's like, doesn't matter. And I only got one thing to say to you besides thanks. He goes, huh? He basically pats my shoulder, be like, you passed. I'm like, wait, what? As all of a sudden, just Venom comes on to me fully, as, yeah. Something feels strange. not much pain, but just something's happening. And this lasts for a few minutes. I can't even try to rip off the symbiote suit, and well, after that's done, he goes back onto Eddie. Venom goes back onto Eddie, as I'm like, okay, what happened? He goes, we were just told basically to see if you basically pass to give you a few things. You actually earn some extra stuff too. He's like, huh? A gift from me and Venom. He's like, wait, what? Which, Eddie just says, you proved yourself. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, well, from what you told me, you basically have powers to do whatever you want, to be good or evil. But have you been using it for evil really much? He was like, no, mostly just to mess around with a princess that betrayed her own kingdom. I mean, I'm technically going to go all evil monster mode in a different world, but that's for a good reason. He's like what? Save someone, save a couple people, and get rid of most of the problems in basically a place, and it's the only way to do that is to kill those people. So you're taking the responsibility that no one else will do. Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, I get it. So, you basically you have great power, and it comes with great responsibility. I don't see why basically you don't think you're worthy, or basically you basically bring any shame to basically using your powers. He's like, huh. Wait, how do you even know that? He was like, just the person who basically teleported you here is, well, summoned me, and I basically was nearby when I heard the explosions afterwards. So, I had to test it, kid. So, have fun being, wait, I was supposed to give a message to you, right, Venom? Venom pops up, he goes like, yes, Eddie. So, he goes, oh, yeah. He says, kid, don't worry about, your whole entire worrying if you're Spider-Man, worthy of being it, or getting the title. You have his powers, become your own Spider-Man. Become the ultimate Spider-Man, since you can have multiple different versions of it. Don't let that stop you. Which, I'm like, who's the one who basically said it? He goes like, he says, basically he says, and he basically said something about, and tell him basically to never give up, true believer, Excelsior, or something like that. Which, my eyes widened. I'm like, no way. As then all of a sudden, portal opens underneath me. He goes, see ya. Basically, I'm like, ah, crap. As next time I just fall. It's not even that fast, but Eddie does say, by the way, me and Venom gave you something. Have fun. Which I'm just like, huh? As because I lay in my bed and the portal closed. Before I can even check, Shaltier runs in, like, Cyril, are you okay? What happened? I'm like, just went to a different world. Hold up. So, I basically go into my skills, and I literally go into Spider-Man. I basically see more different powers from Spider-Man. I'm like, okay, what? And then I don't see no web shooting, organic webs. I'm like, do I have to make my own? As then basically, I do get a notification. Basically, organic webs have been added to you. I'm like, huh? So I look over the wall to shoot a web. I'm like, yep, I'm gonna need some practice. And then I go, I'm like, okay. System, can you basically show me anything that's been added to that I did not have? All of a sudden, we go into basically into the symbiote / Clintar, basically, system that I had that was blank. I'm like, okay, this is new? As then, it just says, there's only one, basically, skill there. I'm like, huh? So it basically says, Clintar Kane, no. Or Symbiote King, no. Because I just basically kind of read it. Basically says, you basically are the king of symbiotes. You are null. And because of this, you basically can turn your body or yourself into a symbiote. You not basically have your personality change because you are that symbiote. And it's anything that you know of it. I'm like, okay, personality may change slightly, but not by much. I'm like, good to know. So, basically after I exited, I just see, like, a note, well, a little, like, text appearing, like, you have knowledge of basically, of Null, to some degree, so why not become the king of symbiotes? Become your own. Have your own little, basically, powers. Enjoy it, kid. Excelsior. As I'm like, oh, no way. That is awesome. Before you even ask, I just kind of think it was a good idea. So, I mean, to be honest, it's like he's their creator. Basically, if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, Stan Lee, he's the creator, basically, of certain Marvel characters, but a lot of them where Marvel came today where they even have them today, basically, at that point. So, and since he is their creator, he's basically the one above all. So, yeah. So, every basically, god and that was watching is like, who is this person, or who is this being that basically did this? Luna knows, even Chaos knows, and Chaos just says, oh, you sly old man. So, yeah, basically, back to me. Shouts here is like, Master, Zero, are you okay? He's like, yeah, hold up. I get up. Basically, Venom symbiote, black suit. He's going to Venom form. Carnage. Suddenly, that's basically, the symbiote was changed to Carnage. Actual Carnage form, then basically suit form. Basically, then Anti-Venom. Anti-Venom suit, then basically monster, like a bigger form. Well, so I'm like, basically I just changed back. I'm like, yeah, this can work. This will definitely work. She goes, what happened? And we went to a different world. Basically was given a test, and I technically saved somebody from their self, but I guess the test was to see if I would or not. She was, I see. You're like, yeah. And hold up. So basically I take out each rune, and I just crush them, and I got these skills. Dragon Petrified, Dragon basically Bloodless, Point Pierce, which will be upgraded to something else, and then basically Gaia Instance. Just allow me to get information from any animal. Not any animal, any plant. So yeah, so basically after that I'm like, okay. So I look at basically Shout here. I'm like, sorry to worry you. She goes, no, it's fine. Zero, maybe I should stay the night just in case. We don't know what basically came with you. Like, Shout here, I insist. I insist, Zero. I just sigh, be like, alright, son, you'll take the bed, I'll take a chair. She goes, huh? He was like, what? I'm not gonna basically make you sleep in a chair or on the floor. And I'm definitely not sleeping in the same bed. She just basically like, you're not gonna let me even try, are you? I'm like, nope, it is non-negotiable. She just sighs, me like, you don't even need to sleep, but I like it. She goes, fine. She basically sits in the bed, and I just sit in the chair. So, I basically fall asleep anyways, because I'm really tired. And she basically falls asleep. Well, she doesn't really fall asleep. So, I'm going to say basically breakfast. Well, basically we just leave and we talk and chat. I tell basically what happened, which I was like, what the heck is this? And blah, 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 asking questions. Basically, Narbrel is just like, this is normal moment. Belle and Hestia are just kind of like, well, at least it's a lively moment. So, basically, go to the bar the tavern bar-ish place. Basically, restaurant that, basically that Belle we usually go with. I go there and, well, meets Seer, Ryu, Mamma Mia, and basically introduce myself along with Abel, Shatir, Nabe. So after that, Belle does go to train with but afterwards, but let's just say this, I train him. He he basically trained in physical portion, and then he did comment. Let's just say he did not like it. Basically, I became serious when it came to just fighting him, and yeah, it's like the suddenly switch of personality. That was basically kind of a scary thing for him, to the point where basically he's on the ground just panting. I'm like, sorry about that. That went a little bit overboard. He goes like, eh, I couldn't even keep up with you. And I'm like, yeah, I use sprint. He just says, that's no fair. He goes, doesn't matter. So, you're gonna go into the dungeon today? He goes, yeah, me and Lily. Basically, I just, alright, just don't get yourself killed, man. He was like, I won't. I can't let the goddess Hestia basically alone. Now, can I with you? I'm like, let me guess, you're basically worried I'm basically getting too much chaos? He goes, with you? Yeah. So he gets him and he walks away. I just kind of just chuckle. So Alberto, Charlatier, and Nave do come out. And basically, they pass Bell, which they ask, so how was it? Basically, Charlatier asks. I'm like, he's not the best, but I ain't either. I mean, it's good practice, though. Which basically Nave says, so you're using have to practice them to keep your skills sharp and basically try and choreograph your own moves. And basically keep every type of moves I know in check. Which Habeto's like, I see. Oh, that's a good tactic. Help him, and basically you also learn something else from him too, if needed. I'm like, yep. So, I don't know what I'm going to do today. I don't want to go into the dungeon because of the Minotaur, which they nod. Before anything else was said, I basically get a notification, basically, job class change. Basically, I see that, I'm like... Basically, I just grin, I'm like, yes! Moment. Basically, it's just like, I'm just saying, yes, 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 finally! Finally! This is where the fun stuff's gonna happen. Because I'm like jumping up and down, basically, moment, like it's just excited. Which basically Charlatier and Albedo don't understand what's happening, but all of a sudden Albedo actually just starts laughing at that. And so I just look at her, I'm like, hey, what's so funny? Why are you laughing at me? She goes, sorry, it's just, you're just getting all excited for something, and it was just kind of adorable. Wait, I'm just stop, and I hurt, just stop even, moving. I just turned to her, I'm like, huh? She didn't realize what she said until a few minutes later. She's like, I didn't mean like that. It's just, you're acting childish, and basically someone like you who's always serious, it's just funny. Which basically Abel was saying, but she is right, it is adorable, which Nabe just nods. I'm like, it's not adorable, but I basically can become something, which is going to be a whole lot more fun, which I'm going to get an army. But, yeah. Hold up. I basically, rotate from the inventory the Phallus, and like, here, try to basically buy some stuff here and, like, some extra weapons, arrows or such, the essentials, and basically make sure we don't run into any problem. Well, we don't run out of anything. Okay? I'm going to go into the dungeon, but I am basically going to just do what I need to do for this job class, alright? Basically, Abel just nods. Like, if we run into any problems, like, okay, when you're in the dungeon, if anybody freaking tries to do anything stupid, like, force themselves onto you guys, kill them. Just absolutely kill them. I don't give a crap. Those people deserve it. Which, that would actually kind of shock Charlatier, but she goes, I thought you said you didn't want to kill humans. And I'm like, I'm not around. Which, basically, she nods, and like, and also, do people like that really deserve to live a bit? I'm just saying because of what if everyone deserves to basically live and such. It's just, they're gonna kill him. If you really think about it, they will kill them anyways. I'm just giving them permission. But they were gonna do it anyways, you really think about it. So, yeah. Anyway, she just nodded, and I'm like, and besides, you three would have done it anyways. Which, basically, I better just nod, like, yes, we would have. So yeah, I just kind of just walk away. I basically think to myself, okay, as soon as I enter the dungeon, let's become a demon lord. So yeah, so I get into the dungeon. I go into basically the first floor, and as soon as I do that, I I get into it basically deeper into the dungeon. I basically just feel like, okay, basically job class change. Let's do this. So activate it, enter it, and immediately basically become a demon lord. Which then I get natural elemental nullification, element alignment nullification, spiritual attack resistance, holy attack resistance, infinity regeneration, universal detection, Lord's ambition, enhanced replication, and universal thread. Plus then the skill Beelzebul. So basically, that happens, and I'm like, just shaking off my head. I'm like, cool. Wait, that means also Raphael. Raphael. We're like, greetings. Is anything needed? I'm like, oh, I was just checking to see if you became Raphael or you're still a great sage. No, I am Raphael. Please, tell me if anything you need assistance. I will help you as much as I can. I'm like, thanks. So, I just like, anyways, let's get through this. Take out the daggers. We're like, seeing some monsters right come at me, I'm just grinning. I'm like, this is gonna be a piece of cake. So yeah, I don't need the Night Slayer dagger, but I do kill them with the dragon daggers. Well, the dragon dagger and the Barak Barak B serpent. Or Barak B serpent, basically. Yeah, I basically get into like 45 minutes. So, in a sense though, when I basically see the entryway, I open up the door, I basically just sigh, be like, because I'm basically hearing the footsteps, I'm like, okay, this is Egris. Don't hold back. Don't worry. We got this. So, I basically put the daggers and basically get out so Zangetsu, and I immediately basically say, put my arm out and say, I literally just say, Bun Kai! As, yeah, I go into Tenzon Zangetsu mode. Bankai. As basically I'm like, alright then, red blood Egris, let's go. As, yeah, he tries to strike me, dodge, do a slash. Basically, he slashes back. It's just a high fast pace battle. He has a hard time keeping up. I'm able to basically attack him. And I do use, basically, some gets that 10 shows. He used Domination Touch to basically make the attacks fall down. But it's, there was like a little bit too many. And I would want to test out, basically, I would ask, can I use the mask yet? Which basically, how long you go like, try it. As I literally, do put that mask on. I'll try to put the mask on and then, swipe my hand to the side. I do have Ichigo's mask when the first started out. And yeah, increase it and such, where basically I just slam my sword. I hit my sword on his and, actual metal sword. And basically he slammed back and then I just punch him, basically send him flying into a wall. And immediately then kick him in the head. Breaking the wall, but also cracking his, basically the helmet slightly, I would think, but at the same time, it's just enough to make, like he would basically just stab with a knife. That much of a crack. It's just like, make it look like it, and there's like nothing else. I'm like, huh. Neat. Alright then. Let's get through this basically endless waves of monsters. that's coming. I'm really want to just get back, just make sure Belle's okay. So, by the way, I'm just kind of rushing this. I mean, I had it longer, but at the same time, eh. So, in a sense, when they come around, I basically try attacking. I couldn't be in that state for long because I would get too tired, so I stopped using the mask, and then I get out of Bunkai. I switch over to the daggers and such. I'm using basically a lot of shadow rushes. Yeah, and basically even then we'll switch over to Zangetsu, make it change to Rebellion, and I'm trying to go through the monsters just to find what I need to basically go through, like the mages and such. The summoners, it does take a bit. I mean, basically, the whole entire Bankai does take a lot of stamina. So I'm kind of slowing down a bit, but not really much. I do eventually kill them. It just took a couple, like, an hour or two. Or something like that. But I do get enough points to basically get the title Necromancer. And then, would you like your yes or no? I said yes. And, well, basically, Shadow Monarch. Which I do get the title Shadow Monarch. Hold up. Alright, so basically, as I just kind of sigh in relief, I see all the soldiers around. Basically, I'm like, okay, since my intelligence is basically 2,000, I should have enough for saves and for, well, all these. So, I go over to Egress. I do basically would kind of see for it to ask for a command. And I would basically like, arise. As basically command has been set. So, basically, after I did say that, the knights would basically appear. And I would be like, nice. So, well, I mean, all my shadow soldiers that were basically knights. That's why I'm gonna play nice. And then I would be looking at Egress. I'm like, arise. Nothing happens. I'm like, alright. You basically have no one on the throne to watch over and basically protect. You're here all the time. What's the point of being here when you don't need to defend the throne no more? So how about you come with me? Come with me on an adventure, see new things, have fun. And the only thing you gotta do is just follow me. So, how about you arise? As then, basically, Egress turns into Shadow Soldier. Basically, it's the copy. Give the name Egress. And so, after that all happens, I basically just tell them to go into my shadow. As the portal would open as I walk right through it. Me happy with my shadow soldiers, I immediately basically... Well, actually... Wait, I probably should look into what type of skills they have. I forgot what basically you get from being Shadow Monarch and get the title of. So, but I'll do that later. So basically, I'm like, alright guys, let's grind. As some of all the shadows come out and they go through the dungeon. I go up to at least level 10. Then I basically come back up. I noticed basically Belle was not having a hard time. I would have met basically not anyone I would not meet anyone actually. Yeah, no, they would have been already left and be there. I'll try to get down there to the floor that they need to go to. So, I do get the crystals though, and basically, saying thank you. And yeah, I just basically just get him back. So I go over to the guild and get my money, and then go over to the tavern to basically get something to eat before going to the Hestia Familia. I do see basically Albedo, Shaltier, and Nave just basically talking while there's a few guys just talking to them, trying to, well, basically see if they can win them over, basically. As I just sigh, I'm like, people never learn. So I go over, I'm like, yo, you guys need some, well, yo guys, sorry it took me so long. Didn't mean to be basically late. Which basically Albedo was like, yeah, basically 3 minutes late. I'm like, well, sorry, got lost. Which one of the guys like, hey, you know him? Basically, I was like, yeah, he's our friend. He goes, a shrimp like him? Come on. How about you basically have some fun with me? Which I'm just like, dude, worst pickup line ever. Which he's like, huh? What you say? As I'm just like, yeah, no. Immediately, basically, do quickly, basically just hit them, knocking them out. Which is like really quickly, so no one really saw it. They just think they just knocked out. Mamma Mia already knows, along with Ryu. I basically move at high speed. Basically, I kind of just sit down in a chair like nothing happened. I'm like, so, did I miss anything? Yeah, well, Hestia basically was told Bell basically defeated a Minotaur. He's resting right now. He should be backing up and ready basically by tomorrow. I'm like, cool. Anything else? You're like, we went shopping. We got basically a couple of potions, some clothes. I'm like, okay. Any new weapons? He goes, not really. But maybe we can actually get one. I'm like, true. I do have enough dragon scales and maybe we can actually ask Hephaestus for that. Which basically they nod. So it's just sorry. So basically, after that, we do go and we do eat after I order. We go back. Bell's there. He's just saying he's just gonna go to sleep. I tell him a good job though. He just says thanks. That training really did help me. You're like, really? He was like, yeah. Help me conquer my fear of basically the Minotaur. Because you're way more scary than that thing. As I just chuckle. I'm like, well, I got something new added. Which Hessie was like what? It goes, as in a few shadow soldiers pop out. One of them is Egress and the other ones are just the grunts. I'm basically going to be able to make my own army. Which, basically Bella's like, I'm too tired for this, but I shouldn't be surprised no more. Bella just sighs, be like, yeah, me neither. So, after that, I do basically talk to Hestia, and it's about the whole entire idea because of Bill would be a level 2 by now. Oh, he will be level 2 in the next part. Which he did agree to basically to have us team up, but we still need to go to get more experience in the dungeon beforehand. I just sigh, be like, well, it's gonna help him in the long run if we basically team up. She goes, I know, but still, we should only team up once in a while. But right now, though, let him basically get used to his power and such, and then basically, when he really needs you guys, team up. I'm like, alright, goddess. Basically, I'm like, but still, though, that's actually kind of a good idea, because he's gonna meet someone, basically, when he gets new armor, a blacksmith. Well, she was like, really? He goes, yep. Anyways, good night then. She says good night, so basically, yeah, I basically just go and just fall asleep. Technically this is where I'm gonna leave it off, everyone. Sorry, it's 4 something right now. I'm tired. And you kinda already saw it's 15% battery, so, that's all I had for this one. The next part is but it's basically just Bell and Wealth, and then just us going further down to the dungeon in level 2. We're gonna be like this. Bell's gonna be released as level 2, and then the whole entire situation, the bar is gonna happen because we're gonna go celebrate with him. But then, you know, he's basically then gonna keep helping out Wealth, but get the Minotaur blade from the horn. What made out the horn? After that, it's just well. After that, it's basically just them going to the dungeon to level 13, and then that's it. So yeah, pretty much. That's always gonna be a problem in the next episode next part of this. I mean, we're just gonna have to go save Belle then. And I do kind of need to think of it. I do hope you like this part. You guys have a nice day, night, wherever you are, and bye.